Hello crafty people, welcome to my channel. I'm Justine, a wife, kindergarten teacher, Etsy seller, and crafter, and I have this channel to inspire you to create. Today I am going to share the amazing paper grace for March 2022 called Bella Ovalette. I had a few scraps here that I wanted to use up. The pattern paper that I will be using today is from the card kit of the month from March from Spellbinders. I used other pieces of that paper in another kit, and since there's 2 pieces of each paper, it will line up in the end, and you'll see that in just a few minutes here. I'm also using the stamp Hello from the card kit of the month, and I thought that it fit very nicely in the oval in the center of the card. It's pretty fun to mix and match different pieces of the club items together. If you're interested in any of the clubs or becoming a member, I do have a link in the description of the video. In this video, I am using a number of tools, and all of those are linked in the description, and I will mention them as we go if I can keep up with the video. I did use the Ranger Archival Ink that's in the jet black color to stamp the hello, and here I am using the Tim Holtz Tonic mini trimmer. I think it works really well for making just little cuts, and this way I don't have to pull out my giant paper cutter. After adhering the pattern paper to a white piece of scrap, then to a black piece of cardstock, I'm going to now add black to the card base, then the pattern paper, and then the panel that I created. Then I will use some liquid glue. Looks like I used my Barely Art liquid glue, and adhere that on to my card. Then with the amazing paper grace, it came with a number of flowers, and I will add 3 flowers and 4 little leaves to my card. I do recommend the Barely Art glue, or really any precision tip glue for fine dies like the amazing paper grace, because there are so many little details and edges that will stick up if you do not glue them down all the way. And of course I had to add a little bit of bling to the middle of the flowers. There is the finished card. I really like the way that this one turned out, especially with the black ink and the black paper. The next card led me on quite a journey. I wanted to use the large piece of die from the amazing paper grace and really make this a delicate, lacy, formal card. I love the color combination of blue and white, so I am going to use white for all of my intricate die cutting. And I do have an older die cut machine, so I will use a little bit of washi tape to adhere my dies down onto my paper, because in my die machine I have to flip it upside down. Now I have die cut everything out, and I just wanted to show you that you can use that rolling side of the tool-in-one to clear out the intricate dies, because the paper really does get stuck in there, and you can use this rolling side and roll over the die, and the little bristles poke through and they pop right out. I love making cards with intricate dies like this, but sometimes they get stuck, and the tool-in-one really does make it easy to clean it out quickly. You will end up with quite a mess of confetti, but it's worth it. You can also use the tool-in-one directly onto your die cut piece, like I am in this clip. As I mentioned before in my video, I am an Etsy seller, and I did have someone purchase this finished card from my store, so I needed to make 2 more to make sure that I could fulfill the order. If you're interested in any of the cards that I make, they might be up on my Etsy store, so that link will also be in the description below. Now I am taking some white paper and my corner rounder at the 7mm and just rounding off the corners of what will be the inside of the card. And I will use white paper like this inside cards that have a dark cardstock. This is mainly so when you actually write in the card, you can. So I'm going to use my scoring board here, and I will score the inside at 4.5 because the inside is 9 inches wide, and my card base is a 5x7 card, so I scored that at 5. And I will use my scoring board here to also fold my cards. I do like how light that scoring board is, so if I do have to whip it on my desk, it's not this clunky mess like my paper cutter, that big paper cutter that I mentioned before, which is why we like little things. Now the precision tip on the liquid glue Barely Art here is coming in handy because this die is so beautiful and intricate, and it needed a lot of glue because there's a lot of little pieces that would lift up. When I stuck it down, I did notice that I missed a few pieces. So in my Tool-in-One, I do have a little attachment that looks kind of like a shovel. And I added glue right to the shovel, and I put that shovel piece right underneath those little pieces that were lifting up. And a little bit went a long way. This way I didn't have to remake my whole card or have little pieces that stuck up, which was great because no one needs anything catching, especially since this is going to a buyer and I want it to be nice for them. I kept the center of the card pretty simple by just adding one flower and a few leaves because the outside was so delicate and beautiful that I didn't want to really take away from it. But I will add a very small gem to the center of the flower. And as I said before, I did make a couple extras because they are for sale on my Etsy store. Yes, I know they all look the same. That's the point. As I was taking pictures for this card, I realized that it could be turned the other way too. It's a beautiful part about this die. I did make a third little project that I'm not quite sure what I will be doing with yet. My intention was to make a pretty pink card, perhaps for Mother's Day, but the way that it's folded, I kind of feel like I want to put my sentiment on the back and write it on that pink rectangle and then adhere it after. But then part of me thinks, well, I don't know, I really love all those little pearls. Maybe I should put the sentiment in the inside and have the sides kind of hold it in and maybe add a ribbon around it. I'm not sure what this is going to be becoming. I don't know, but I had a lot of fun making it, and I love the pink and white contrast and the little pearls all around. This was kind of just a fun thing that I was playing around with, but I did want to show you. Not everything has to be this amazing, beautiful card. It can just be a little project that you're working on. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that maybe you can be inspired by some of the cards that I created today. Come on back for another video next time. Thanks, bye.